Hello YouTube, welcome to Sunday in the Shop, and I hope y'all had a good Christmas. Okay, we're going to start this out with some gifts I received, okay? I'm sure you've all seen this by now. If y'all guessed where I got this from, and it was in a video of his when it was all rusted, okay? We'll give you a hint. Well, we'll just tell you. This is where I got it from. If you like my tool restorations, you should be subbed to this channel. Because he does a lot better job on some things than I do, especially polishing metals. I mean, I can polish some metal, but he can do the mirror finish. Okay. I really enjoyed having stuff like this. And it'll stay just like this. I'm not changing the handle. Like I said, I took my diamond files and I did the part where you'd sharpen. You can see it's shinier. Because I had to. I had to start getting some kind of edge. It was so ragged. Okay, enough of that. So I decided it's time to unwrap the other gifts. So let's see what the first one I unwrapped. We'll try to go in order. I unwrapped this and I thought, well, yeah, it's rusty pry bar. Oh, God. But I can handle it. Not bad. You know what I'm saying? I could soak this in vinegar. I could fit it down in the thing I put the knife blade in, and I ain't worried about the plastic. Okay? So, let's go on to the next one. Okay, I'm sure you're all used to the heater by now. And these might not be in order, but they're close to it, okay? So, then the next one was this, and I have no idea what name they are. And these are big. I mean, this ain't a little pair. These things are big. I mean, look at the cutters on these, like for cutting highline wire or something. I have no idea what name they are. They're not that bad. I don't want to really polish a tool like this. These I'll clean up. I'd like to get some gun bluing so they look old school. Because they are a working tool. They are cutters. I'm trying to think. Let me look up close here. The cutters ain't bad. Look at the pattern in the jaws, how good they are. See that? A little bit of dirt there. Stuck in there. They're not bad, are they? Big and bulky. You think I could guess the name just by looking at as many I've seen on the internet, but I think I see USA in there. Would I be wrong saying Utica? We'll go with Utica for now, okay? So these are impressive, like, wow, I don't have any diagonal cutters that hefty. Like I said, and I don't want to polish those. I want those to be like gun bluing. Then I pull out this little gem. Charles E. Hall Company out of Buffalo, New York. And they're pretty buggered up, but they're not bad. I can file that, and I can make these straight again because the movable one is off. The other one is still about 90 degrees still. So it hasn't been sprung. So I can file and straighten them. And I already got the screw to come loose. Got out my old Miller's Falls screwdriver and put there all the torque I had in my hand. It's nice to have old screwdrivers for stuff like that. So that's really a gem. This will be polished. I think about putting a hole in it to hang it up. But if you was working on a lot of odd little fittings all day long, not really on car mechanics, say you worked at a factory or some other different job or even out on the farm, I mean, wouldn't that be nice to have in your pocket? Or your backpack along with a multi-tool? Just to have, especially if you have a bicycle. To me, that's like a bicycle wrench when I was a kid. You can take anything off a bicycle. Then I'll save the worst till last. So they're not in order. So then I get this. Now I have a lot of screwdrivers, so I think this is going to be a pokey tool. It's going to be an awl. And it says something like Tuck, T-U-C-K. So we don't know what the handle will be. It might just be wood and stained. You know, it would be nice just to make it all and just leave that alone. Get the white paint off of there. What do you think? Put in the comments. Should I just get the paint off this and clean this up and kind of leave it old looking and polish this and make it into an all and just leave it that way? You know, we're always sanding wood. We're doing stuff with these old tools, and you know, you only get that patina once. Okay, so we'll think about that one. So put in the comments what you would do with this, with the all. Would you sand it down or just clean out the paint and everything? Okay. Then I cannot tell you the caliber of these, but I have a metal scribe made with a shell about this size, and I've also made another all pokey tool, scratch all. So these are really cool. I'm not even going to try to read the caliber. I'm not going to. I mean, I could get up here like this. And we don't even know. We're looking through the camera at the back, so we have no idea whether that's showing up. This is really hard to read. We'll try to get some close-up pictures of that. Okay, here's the worst one. When I seen this, I won't repeat what I said, but it started with what the... Look at this. Was I bad this Christmas or what? I'm sorry. I'm sure he had a smirk on his face when he threw this in there. I know he did. He likes to remove and rust off tools. Well, let's see him take care of this one. It's like, oh, do you think I can clean this? It's going in the hot boiling vinegar. I'm going to find a can if I got to turn it one way and the other way. I hope the heater don't bother anybody. Look at that thing. If there's a name on there, you can't see it. But look at it real close. The swivel still turns. Look at the cool little, instead of most of them were like a butterfly. That's round. You know, look at the thread. It's not sprung. I don't think it's sprung or bent. You gotta look at the positive here. But it's like, oh, wow, much rust removal is this gonna take? Because I'm not gonna do that like trawl stuff. Not that I know that vinegar works for me. So, yeah. That. And you thought this was bad. I see somebody watching this channel for the first time. This guy's gonna clean up what? You know, I could have used one of these the other day, and I was prying with a screwdriver on something, and I could have used this. I just needed something small. Like, this tip should actually be a little bit thinner. I don't know what I was prying on, but this is what I needed, because I was prying on something I wasn't very happy with using a screwdriver doing it. So this will be abused. The time I'm done, this tool might end up bent someday worse than what it is, because I will use it as a pry bar. So there you go. We'll take some pictures of this, and we'll see if we can add some other little thing to the end of the video here. We don't want to make a big, long video because I've been busy this week of all the stuff on my project, and it is early Christmas Eve, so I want to get this film in the can and get it processed and get it out there. So I'll be in editing and doing all that stuff, you know. I just throw it all together and we'll get it done tonight. So we're done like a day earlier. So hang in there. We'll find something else before we go. Well, we're going to leave you with an update on my... That's crooked. Don't think it ain't. Don't ask me how. It's brazed here and there. And I'm sure you've seen a video on this stovepipe part. This is for that stove that's going to be 4 by 6 inches. Little box stove. We wanted this a little bit wider. And here's why that's angled. We're not going to worry about filling that in. You're not going to see it. But that's a piece of pipe where you split and roll it to fit. And then it's brazed. It's brazed almost all the way up. And this is 1/16 inch steel. So my MAP gas torch took care of that no problem. And I'll show you. See where I welded that? Where you can see where the gap, welded on the gap. I ground that out with the Dremel stone, and you could put that line back in there and then spot weld it, because the top had to go on last, and it's welded like this, see? But I had to weld the rest way around. So that's the best way to do that. And then I'll give you an update on this. I don't know when the video will be posted on this, but here's my drawing, a lot of chicken scratches, and there's that piece. We'll print it off separate. So what it is this was all, you know, straight out here, but this just is 45 degree off. Here you can see it better. See? But I came down just a little bit further. So I didn't go 45 degree and go over. See how I came down a little bit further, made that a little bit longer? Can you tell that? It's not even with this like you think. And I decided the very last second to do that because see how long this is where it's cut? It just looked better that way, okay? Because if you look in the drawing, it's hard to tell. And down here, it just goes to the center. So this was like, turn it this way. This was like I came up a 1/4 inch from here. And I just designed it the way it looked the best. So look for the video coming up on this because I found 3 gun casing shells to stick in there for tubes because I can't find one of them stainless straws. So I had them pounded in there. I'll find a way to hold them in there because we want the tubes to be, you know what I mean. We want the tubes to be about this long so the air gets into the stove further. We don't want just holes out here and ashes falling out. We want the tubes to be off about 1 inch or so. So I think you know what I mean. So the air gets right in there. And then it's also going to have an air intake like my first stove where I put that big flapper door on the back and run them tubes up the side. Not the round propane one, it had that funny thing in the middle. You'll see the video. They'll be coming out. We've been working on it. I mean, this takes a long time. This is like 2 days of work right here. You know, cutting it, spot welding it, making sure it's flat. It's almost perfectly flat. You know, and making these holes as perfect as I could, how I drilled them. I drilled the front. When I got to the last size straights, I chamfered that with a drill bit and drilled for the back and popped through. And it made very nice, clean holes. So, I'm amazed I got those holes that clean. So, look for the video on that coming up. And I want to wish everybody Merry Christmas, even though I'll probably put this out Saturday night. So, you'll probably go to bed. So, thanks for watching.